Right. Can we please take our feet for the bride? Đứng dậy. So, welcome all to family, friends, and loved ones to 𝗛𝘂 at the beautiful Amiana resort. We gather here to celebrate the wedding of Joanne and Kevin. This is, of course, my first gig as a celebrant, and as such, I've offered them a generous discount. The invoice is in the mail. Some of you may wonder why Joe and Kev chose this location, why we all had to take a plane to attend, why Kevin would want to come back to the city that gave him food poisoning for days. While some of you are just here for a nice holiday. For one, the picture looked great on Instagram. Hashtag JK officially married. It was a pretty good excuse to come back in March on a scouting mission. I helped, of course. But it was also inspired by our cousin Katie's wedding, the best wedding I've been to so far, and soon to be surpassed by this one. Oh yeah. Everybody, you can sit down now. Sorry. This is my first time. I mean, I have to stand. Today is a happy occasion, and it's even happier because I really can't screw this up, as you've just seen. I can say anything I want, and Joanne and Kevin will still be legally married, and it's pretty dangerous to give me a microphone. Joanne and Kevin married in a quiet ceremony on August the 19th last year. They dubbed it the fake real wedding, and that's why today is more than a wedding. Today is a celebration. Without the pomp, the preaching, the ceremony, today's just about love. Today is the real fake wedding, or so we call it. A coming together of friends and family to witness the culmination of over 10 years of love and adoration that Kevin and Joe have for each other. Some of us look at it in wonder, some in admiration, and some, like me, a little jealous that Joanne and Kevin have realized their dream of marrying their high school sweetheart. Now, you may wonder why they legally married on the 19th of August. This is where our love story starts. Now, accounts will differ as to whether you ask Joe or Kev. Kevin will say that Joe's account leaves out all of the important details, and Joe would say that Kevin's account is too dramatic. Now, luckily, I'm here to give you my unabridged and unbiased interpretation. Rather fittingly, the chemistry began in chemistry class, which is probably also why Joe didn't do very well in Year 12 chemistry. Kevin's feelings brewing over group work and the glitz and glamour of a titration competition at Sydney Uni. Kevin loved that they both played tennis, that Joe was good at handball, and that they both liked galore sandwiches. One day, Joe rests her hand on Kevin's shoulder on the train home. Her head, sorry, on Kevin's shoulder, and Kevin instantly felt a tickle in his loins. Of course, Joe later claims that she would lie on anyone's shoulder, and that meant nothing. But on August the 19th, Kevin decides that enough is enough. His hormones are bursting at the seams. He has to make a move. So he gives Joe a cryptic handwritten message via their friend Tao. AYE, it says. AYE, what does that mean? I don't know. An il am? I don't know. Sending Joe into a tailspin, she discusses it with Tao. What does it mean? What's he saying? Is he saying an il am? I don't know. Joe, being the confrontational badass that she is, she calls Kevin that afternoon, pacing around the study of our house. Hey, I heard you like me. Yeah, I do, replies Kevin, wishing the ground would open up, taken aback by Joanne's aggression. Joe says, I'm not sure if I do, but we'll see how this goes. I'll see you at school and we'll talk about it. Kevin couldn't sleep that night. He was scared, worried that the chemistry would just explode in his face. But in the end, it was okay, he says. The next day, Joe grabbed my hand and put it on my thigh in the library. And that's how I knew I was in. Then came the next daunting task of impressing family. Joanne had no such issue because Kevin's parents were reasonable. They're not angry, like my mum. But first was meeting me, the older brother. I don't think it helps Kevin's nerves that Joe told him that not impressing me would be a deal breaker. Like, I don't know how I got that job, but Kevin would come to our house after school, say hi, and silently hand me a chocolate bar. He did this over weeks, over and over, Kit Kat, Snickers, Mars. But, and of course I took it, but he didn't know that I don't actually like chocolate. Like, I didn't even eat it, I just gave it back to Joe. But I wasn't going to tell him, it was pretty funny. He persisted though, and soon I saw through his shy exterior and enthusiastic puppy, the goodest of good boys, the bromance sealed over video games. And this continues to drive Joe mad to this day. Impressing our mum is, of course, scarier, but much, much easier. All you need to do, said Joe, is to pick up a mop and pretend you know what you're doing. Just vacuum the house, mop the house, just look like you're cleaning and you'll be fine. Didn't matter that you missed spots because you can do housework, you're Vietnamese, mum's happy. And after years as a family, I'm pleased that now my mum has somebody else to yell at and not just me. Now, moving on to their engagement. In April 2018, Kevin told me that he planned to propose to Joe. I was over the moon, of course, but worried. Worried because I was the worst person at keeping a good secret. So I managed to do it, but I told everybody in 𝗛𝘂𝚷 where I worked, so everybody knew that Joe was going to get engaged to Kevin, except for Joe. He wanted to propose in front of my parents and me for some reason. He forgot that he had his own parents and his own sister. He just wanted to propose in front of our family. So I told him to, involve the whole family. So they decided that on August the 19th, this would be the 9-year anniversary. We'd go to the Blue Mountains National Park and to take some photos with our parents, because that's what they do apparently. So Joe woke up that morning, resting bitch face on, grumbling about having to go take photos. She didn't wear nice clothes, she didn't wear makeup, and Mum was horrified. So she had to call Kevin, who then told Joe that, oh yeah, maybe we'll go to a nice dinner or something afterwards, so, just put on some clothes in case you don't have time. And so we got there, excitement built up as Joanne and Kevin took a photo together. And then after the photo was taken, Kevin gets down on one knee and Joe screams, "Ew! What are you doing?" Flinching before she realized what's happened and bursting into tears. Of course she said yes, but I think that this must be the only proposal to have started with the future bride saying "ew." And that wasn't even the best part, because the best part was the night before. The mums had been furiously looking up engagement poses, looking at Harry and Meghan for some, wedding advice, and then they made Joe and Kevin take a bunch of really, really awkward photos, and it was hilarious. But anyways, now here we are at the wedding, the real fake wedding, a 9-hour flight away from home, baking in the afternoon Vietnamese sun, watching two very special people affirm their love for each other. I'm honoured to be able to officiate this celebration today. I've been blessed to be able to call my sister my best friend, the one constant in my life who I know will never let me down. We've grown up together, witnessed each other's milestones, been there for each other, yelled at each other, and with time, we'll watch each other's future children grow up together. Joanne is smart, funny, and caring, and I'm glad she's met Kevin, who's funny and caring. It's only fitting that I stand here beside both of you today, helping you get married. Now, I've got a slight change of tone for you guys. It's a special treat today. Dug up from Joanne's emails from 10 years ago, for our poem reading, I have a Kevin Tran original love poem from September 2009. Now, I had to dig through a lot of emails, read through a lot of poems. I read things that I did not want to read. I found out things I did not want to find out. I've had to wash my eyes out with bleach. But anyways, so today this poem, like I said, is a Kevin Tran original, which I will recite. It's a masterpiece that's entitled Our Walk. Right. Here I stand, waiting for your train to arrive. Not used to the sudden lingering, I feel anxious with every passerby. There you are, in the crowd, after the longest minute of 5. Passing through the barriers, you are always first to say hi. We cross the main road as I secretly admire your manifestation. With your sixth sense, you catch me, telling me to stop, attempting to alter my gaze, but never could I resist temptation. You carry that adorable smile up until we make a right at the bread shop. Yeah, I laugh too. Hiding in the mob of junior students, we are finally alone. Feeling content with each other's presence, we happily exchange stories. But while talking, there comes a realization of how much our feelings have grown. With this in mind, we continue to open up without any worries. Walking an inch apart, I take you by the left hand, both feeling intimacy, a newborn sensation. Why it never worked with anyone else, we finally understand. Suddenly, there is no need for conversation. Slowing our pace, we embrace time together, as much as we can, knowing we will soon part ways. I wish bleakly for just a while longer, walking into a haze of disappointment right past the lollipop man. Finally, we take our separate paths, knowing distance will only make us stronger. And that's 4th of September 2009, when Kevin wrote that poem. Yeah. I think you give him too much credit, but anyways. I thought it was crap. Now, in keeping with the celebration, like I said, no pomp, no ceremony. We're going to do things our own way. So Joanne and Kevin would like to do their own vows to each other, as well to their family and friends. So Joanne's going to go first.
Maybe I'll just hold it in there. Yeah. I can't believe it's been 15 years of knowing you and 10 years of being with you. There has always been a debate about who made the first move, as Richard had said before. I always say it was me who made that move by initiating the call. Others would say it was 𝗂 who planted that seed and told me you liked me. And then you have yourself who says it was actually you who was the mastermind behind it all. You knew us girls would talk and we would not be able to keep a juicy secret, so you put all the eggs in the basket. If you had asked me 4 years prior, on our first day of high school, I would have jumped at the thought that this cute boy liked me. I was boy crazy back in those days. I told your cousin Deborah I thought you were charming. You missed your chance when you zoned me out. I never thought about you in that way again. It was a different story when we got together. It was nearing the end of year 11, and we had one more year of high school left. We had chemistry class together, and we were always friends, but we started to hang out more because, well, we had more classes in common. So when I was healing from a broken heart, you were someone I turned to. I thought of you as a good friend. I was looking to the future and thinking about how I would meet a dreamboat in university and have my fairy tale then. I planned it all in my head and wanted to enjoy the rest of high school with my friends. Your declaration of your feelings had me stunned. I was elated because I realized that all the months before you were actually sending me signals and I was completely unaware. It was such a lovely gesture. You skipped business class to catch a train with me when I volunteered for the Salvation Army and hung out with me during my free period, as well as writing notes with secret messages. But I was also apprehensive. I liked you as a friend, but I wasn't sure I wanted more. I realized that my actions, in which I thought was a normal part of being friends, was also possibly leading you on. I didn't want to hurt you. It was too late and the message was already sent. You were, however, very persistent. I must admit at times I found it overwhelming. There was too much of you needing me that it made me even angry at times. There were occasions where you weren't having a productive day in the wooing Joanne department, which made me think I had made the wrong decision. But you would come out the next day with something that was so thoughtful and sentimental that it confused my meter. Your slow burn has ignited the biggest flame in me. I used to feel annoyed at how much you needed me in the early years and assertive traits. But as the years grew on, I've seen so much change and growth. You make me a better person. In what I lack in humour and serenity, you encapsulate and lift me without complaint. You take all of my mood swings and yelling with grace and empathize with me. I admire your determination to better yourself and those around you. I adore your ability to interact with anyone, no matter what age. Sometimes I get embarrassed by your synergy, but in my silence, I think to myself, wow, I'm the lucky one. I love that you break dance at weddings and make a fool of yourself wherever you go, because even though it makes me feel awkward, it also brings so much joy into my life. I love that you can't clean the house to my standards, but you still try anyway. I love that despite your jovial front, you're also so level-headed and calm in stressful situations. I love that we can be honest and open with how we're feeling. Family means the world to me, and I love that you love my friends and family as your own. I can't wait to build a future with you as equals. I can't wait to go on adventures around the world with you. I can't wait to meet our children one day and tackle all their tantrums together. To grow old together and in challenging times, always find a way back to another. I love you and thank you for choosing me.
Great hug again. Just for some photos. And next we've got Kevin with his vows, so let's hope it's not another poem.
I first met you in year 7. It was a Tuesday, and we were at the tennis courts for PE. To me, you were some strange girl with braces and glasses. You were dressed in your sports uniform, and whilst everyone else was playing tennis, you weren't playing at all. Instead, you were sitting on the floor, with horrible posture and on your tennis racket. I found this oddly curious. Why risk compromising the structural integrity of a tennis racket? Why not sit on the bench? Is this girl mad? As a largely forthright kind of guy, I proceeded to interrogate you right away. Or you, why are you sitting on your tennis racket? When it break? But all you did in response was laugh. But otherwise, remained silent. So to this day, I don't know why you were sitting on your tennis racket, and nor did I know I would be standing here in front of you on our wedding day, somewhat 15 years later. If I were to take us to the moment where I started becoming drawn to you, it would have been around year 11 of high school. I found your company pleasant and entertaining, but the more I got to know you, the more I was allured by your own character and virtues. You were hardworking, kind, and generous. And the icing on the cake was that you always did what you deemed was right and stood by that choice no matter how hard it was. I was hooked. Okay. And that is why I decided to declare my feelings for you in high school. Yes, I know I did it via text. Yes, I shouldn't have constructed my messaging ambiguous code words, and yes, I could have been more romantic about it. But even though I momentarily made our relationship awkward, I'm glad to say you didn't completely reject my request, and that in the end, you acquiesced. Fast forward a few years, and our relationship was moving along seemingly well. But adulthood was a challenge that was formidable. Because as we grew older, we soon came to realize that reality can give us more than what we bargained for, and was unlike anything we had experienced in high school. Together, we braved the bittersweet transition into university. We were humbled by our parents' love, only to sober up to their incessant nagging. We delighted in the making of new friends, endured the heartache of losing old ones. We came to see that there was always some good in the bad, but also some bad in the good. And we were no different. You are my rock. I recall a period where I was studying full-time, long and hard, in the hopes of actualizing my aspirations for entering medical school. You worked tirelessly day and night. A man fought whilst I was out doing what I had to do. Though it was hard for both of us, and there were moments where my zeal faltered, you kept the wind blowing in the sails. You saw what I was capable of, even when I didn't. You did what had to be done when I couldn't. And because of this, now standing before me, you've become a more spectacular woman than either of us expected you would. You have always been my number one supporter, and it is because you do so, even when it isn't easy. Due to your unshakable support and encouragement, I was able to grow into the man that I am today, and I shall continue to do so. Though my journey into medical school continues, our circle of friends smaller than ever, and we still seem to be ceaselessly quarreling with our parents. I've come to see time and time again that whilst neither of us might necessarily need it, the path of life seems to take us somewhere beautiful whenever we walk it together. You are no empty vessel. You express your love in actions rather than words. I love you are words that are rarely said, even to me. But that need not matter, because you will love your friends without saying, care for your family without a single word, and you've loved me unconditionally with nothing but a quiet smile. On that note, I guess I should call myself lucky that I was able to appreciate the little things you did for me. A part of the reason as to how I came to be standing here before you today was because I was able to see that all the yelling and screaming were actually odd forms of scolding endearment and deafening affection. You never cease to amaze me. It is astonishing what you are able to accomplish day by day. It is amazing how our love seems to evolve and mature month by month. And today, as we stand here together with family and friends, I would be honored to become your husband and cherish the opportunity to love you more and learn to do it better year by year. With that, I would like to conclude by vowing to stand by your side and take upon the privilege of loving you for the rest of my life.
Phải ôm để chụp hình chứ. So, since last year's fake real wedding, Joe and Kev actually took their rings off and haven't worn it up until today, because this is what they consider, well, their real fake wedding. Like, I'm just getting confused now. So, Wedding rings have no end or beginning. It signifies the continuation of true love and partnership. So, Victor, can we please have the rings? Do Joanne's first. Okay, so put it halfway. Victor, move. Okay, just put it halfway. Do you, Joanne, take this man to be your wedded husband?
I do.
Slide it on. The other ring? Victor? Worst best man. You had one job. And do you, Kevin, take this woman to be your wedded wife?
I do.
All right. So next we're going to do some signings. Yep. So can I have the maid of honor and the best man over here? And Joanne and Kevin come around here. Just for some photo. Witness it. Okay, guys, can you open the bottle of champagne together? Guys, let's. Oh. Woo! So, who do you think wears the pants? And then move to the front. And then bump it and drink it. And by the power of your love and commitment, it is my pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss. Yeah. And can we please have everybody standing up again? When do we walk down? Okay. You guys go? I'll go after.